Hey guys, welcome to the day 7 of the album of Cyber 4. My name is Bohan. In today's challenge, we're going to learn what the CyberChef is and how we can use CyberChef to analyze a malicious document. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is to give you a brief introduction on what the CyberChef is. So the CyberChef is a web-based application and it can be used for slice, dice, encode, decode, parse, and analyze data or files, which makes the CyberChef a very powerful tool that can be used in many different scenarios. So I already have my CyberChef open here. And I'm going to open my browser here. So I already have my CyberChef open here, and I'm going to drop this files, this malicious document inside of the input field. And once the malicious document was being dropped inside of the CyberChef, I'm going to zoom in to just see what we can find inside of this document. If we're scrolling down to the middle of the doc file, you can see there is a string-alike content here that it seems was being obfuscated by these square brackets and the underscore. So what we want to do is to getting rid of this square brackets and underscore to see what this string actually is. So the first thing I'm going to do is to try to extracting out the strings, all the strings inside of this document. So I'm going to apply the strings operation on it, and I'm going to select all printable characters, and since we have the minimal length set as 4, we can see we also selected other strings, so we want to increase the length to only include the strings we needed. So if we apply the 258 bytes as the minimal length, we can see we have these strings here that only includes the string that contains the bracket, square brackets and underscore. The next step I'm going to do is to remove those square brackets and underscore. So I'm going to just use a found and replace operation here. And in this case, I'm going to use a regex. So I'm going to use a square bracket. Square bracket in the regex means that we can put the characters inside of this square bracket to select those particular characters inside of our string. So the first thing I'm going to do is to apply a backslash, and I'm going to just add our square brackets. So we see that the square brackets has been removed inside of our string, and I'm also going to apply another backslash and the underscore. So to mention the backslash inside of the regex is the escaping. So because the bracket and the underscore is a part of the regex, we have to use the backslash to escape them. The next step I'm going to do is to also apply another backslash to getting rid of the caret. So now we see that we already getting rid of all the weird characters, and we see this does seems like a base 64 string, because at the end of the string we have the double equal signs here. So I'm going to apply another backslash n. So backslash n represents the line feed, which getting rid of the space between each line, and I'm going to select all the space 64 encoded string here without include the command line. There are two ways we can do this. One way we can do is to use the drop bytes, which I believe the Tryhackme showed us how to do this. So I'm going to leave it to you guys to explore on your own. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the regular expression in this case. So if we use regular expression here, and I'm going to use the user-defined regular expression. First, I'm going to use the square brackets and to select my characters. The character is the lowercase a to lowercase z, uppercase a to uppercase z, also number 0 to 9. Also, I'm going to include the plus sign, slash, equal. And I'm going to use the curly brackets here because I want to include the range of this regex representation. So I'm going to give a minimum 100 characters. So right now we see that the base 64 was being included inside of the highlighted part, and the part we do not need it is being excluded, because we have already set the character's length. So I'm going to use output format to the list matches to select the base 64 string. So now we have the base 64. I'm going to apply a base 64 operation on it. And I'm also going to use a decode command here. So we want to use a decode text. So decode text, we use it here to decode the UTF-16 16 here, and we use the 16 little India here to getting the clear plain text here, that we can see it is much more clear. Just a little bit of background here. So this is what I just did is to decode UTF-16. So base 64 decoded the result, clearly indicates a PowerShell script, which seems like interesting finding. In general, the PowerShell scripts uses the Unicode UTF-16 Little India encoding by default. We will be using the decode text function to decode the result into the UTF-16 Little India as shown below. So what I did just to apply that operation to decode the Unicode, and the next step I'm going to do is to see what this text string is. So we see that it seems still heavily obfuscated, and I'm going to just highlight the syntax here. So I'm going to highlight the syntax here. We can have a better visualization for this output. So we see this. Let's just go through this output here very quick. So the first thing we have is a set variable. That's very straightforward. And if you notice that we have this this line here, this is actually order function inside for the PowerShell. So if I use if I use a text editor, I can actually show you how we can actually do this. So this is the curly brackets contains the number which is the order of this string we found later. So in this case, I'm going to just use my text editor here, and I'm going to just type those for you. So I'm going to say the first thing is we can view this as an array. So the first character is ordered as number 3. Let's just look at the so the third so the array, we know if you are familiar with arrays, the first position in an array is always 0. So in this case we have the 3. So if we count as number 3, we have the S. So S is gonna be our first character. So we can say S, and we can count as system dot system.io directory. So this is actually a directory class that is used by the PowerShell to creating directory. So this script, this PowerShell script has some functionality that will be used to create a directory, which is part of the malware's what the malware does. And we can see in the later, we also have this another set of this order function here. So we will try to decode it. So we have a system here. We have the system here, and we have the server's point here, and we also have the so the I'm trying to understand how we can apply this. So system service point system service point, last character is R. So system service point and manager is gonna be the another part of the class we use inside of the PowerShell. And if we just going through this this whole script, it is not very clear right now what it does. But if we just trying to, if we apply a code beautify, what the code beautify does is to trying to organize the code in a way that's easy to read for humans. So if we apply a code beautify on it, we can say that the code is being formatted in a way that is easy to read. So so we see that there seems like some characters in there that is used to distracting us. So we will try to getting rid of those. I'm going to use found and replace in this case. I'm going to put a found and replace just under the decode text, and I'm going to apply a regex on there. Same thing. I'm going to use square brackets, and I'm going to just use the same pattern, trying to getting rid of the, let's see, we can I'm going to getting rid of the, because we want to extract those URL in this case for this challenge. So I'm going to getting rid of the this character, and I'm going to getting rid of plus. You can also getting rid of this two character here. So now we have a much cleaner string here. So if we just expand it, and we have this much cleaner string here. However, it's still kind of obfuscated. However, if we read carefully here, we see that there's a B2 uppercase H and underscore here, that it seems it's HTTP. We can try to apply another font and replace, just to try to replace that. So if we just put the font replace just under the previous font replace and apply that string here, just use a simple string and replace it with HTTP. Now we can see that we have the full URL from our script, and there seems still a square bracket in there. So I'm also going to just apply another square bracket in there. So I'm going to use escape, and I know it seems always URL inside of the script. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use another functions that the CyberChef supports. It's called URL extract. So we are going to extract those URL here, and I can disable the operations I do not need at this moment, and I'm going to use this extract URLs, and we see between each URL there is @ symbol that is split each URL. So I'm going to use a split operation here, trying to getting each URL into its own line. So we can set the split delimiter here as @ symbol, and the join delimiter is automatically being set as a line feed. So we see here that we have this all these URLs here, and let's just jumping back to the question. Let's just jumping back to the question here. So the first question is, what is the version of the CyberChef found in the attached VM? So the version of the CyberChef is 9.49.0. So I'm going to enter that, and we got the first question correct. So that's the first question. And another question, next question is, how many recipients were used to extract URLs from the malicious doc? So in my case, I used different different URLs, different operations, but in this case, I think the last steps that Tryhackme wants us to apply is to apply the define URL, which we will be making those URLs into a safe link that will not that will prevent the user or any of your team members to accidentally click on the URL and causes damage to your environment. So we see that there is a total of I'm just going to count all these operations here. So it seems we used 11 operations. So oops, so probably it's 10 operation. Yeah, so we use the 10 operations based on the Tryhackme, but in fact I use a couple more operations because I want to highlight my code and I will also want to beautify my code. So the next step next question is what we found a URL that was downloaded, a suspicious file. What is the name of that malware? So in this case, I'm going to just look into the URL, and the malware is mysterygift.exe. So we can copy this and into our answer box. So we got the next question correct. And what is the last defined URL of this domain? Bandit Yeti domain found in the last step. So it is this one. So we want to deselect the define and just use the original domain. So I'm just going to paste in here and submit it. Oops. Yeah, I think it's just the domain without the pass. Second. Okay, yeah. Sorry guys. So I think I missed something. So you have to apply the define on it. So I'm just going to copy it and throw inside of the answer box. And what is the ticket found in one of the domains? We can say it's simply a flag available to us. So the flag is a Tryhackme misery flag. So that's the answer for this question. We can apply here. So that's the challenge questions we have here. However, I want to show you guys some extra couple things here. So if you're going back to the CyberChef and if you deselect it, deselect the split as well and deselect and just apply the generic beautify and the code highlighting, we see that it's actually there's some part we can see if I apply if I getting rid of this character inside of my CyberChef, just place it inside of these brackets. So it was being getting rid of, and we see that the security protocol seems like for this malware is TLS 1.2 if we use common sense. And we have also something here that is notable is replace function is being used, and this is a characters. So those are ASCII. If we just translate those 10178555 characters into the ASCII, you can see it's actually the EN7. So if we use our text editor here and copy this into our text editor, we just replace the EN7 with and there's with the backslash because the character 92 is actually the backslash. So we want to just replace those with replace the EN7 with the backslash. So we see this is actually a directory that the malware created, and there is also a home in front of this path that the malware created. So that's one of the directory. And another one I want to show you is this one. So this is another directory the malware created. So we have this EAW string that should be replaced with the backslash. So if we're going back, if we search the EAW, just replace all of them with the backslash. We got the string here, directory here, and we have this variable. The variable has a DLL extension here with the file name. The file name with this variable is k_90. So we just place that over there. So what it basically does is that the malware will try to download the malicious DLL file and write it to this folder as this file name k_90. And what this script it essentially does is that it will try to searching those C2 domains here, and if the length of this if it greater than this certain size or length, it will run that DLL once it was being downloaded. So I hope you enjoyed this short challenge walkthrough, and thank you again for watching this video, and thanks for Tryhackme for having me this year. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you guys in my next video.